This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we have seen until list, dictionary, tuple, and set, right?
Yeah.
And we have seen the basic nested one of a
Yep.
list.
Yep.
We'll get into the complicated nested list and dictionary
Okay.
tomorrow or the day after. But
Okay.
first of all, let's continue with the other things. Like let's get into the statements, like
Okay.
operators, and then if condition, else condition, while loop, for loop. We'll see those things today. But the
Okay.
very basic ones to get you guys introduced to
Okay.
them. Okay. So these you might have seen in your 10th standard or something like double equal to. These are pretty earlier ones, but I'll tell you why I'm saying 10th standard also. Okay, this double equal to, it is when A is equal to B, you put it with a double equal to. Like 10 is equal to 11. Is it true
Okay.
or false? 10 is not equal to 11. This you know already. Less than, greater than, these are pretty basic. 10
Okay.
is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. If you do this 11 minus 1, what is the answer? Okay,
Okay.
let's run and see what we are getting as the answer for this one. Okay, this one, it is giving print statement for which one?
GT_EQ.
Very good. Then for this ones, so now which is false? The first one is false, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give all the print statements for everything and see what are the results for them. By then you can guess like what is going to be what. We can see what.
False. 10 is not
Okay,
equal to 11. True.
okay,
10 is less than 11. True.
hmm
Greater than true. True. True.
So everything is true other than the first one because this is not equal to, obviously. This is not, I mean, we wrote it as an equal to operator, but that is not equal to. If you would have put it as 10, you would have got the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
These operators are basically very useful when you are doing, suppose, some kind of API connection, or else uh, server load check, or else if you want to automate something. When I said API connection, if you are unable to connect, you might get a result of 404.
Okay.
In API, you might get it as 204 or something when the connection fails. So you can store that variable, whatever you are getting when you are launching it, and you can write a number as, okay, when you try to launch it, if you get a 200, pass it. If you get a 204, notify me that you are failing to connect to the API.
Email me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So such operators are useful when you do such kind of things. So these are pretty basic, but these are pretty useful when you do such kind of operations like automations or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, in the larger
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
So basing on this true or false, you can ask the robot to tell you, okay, are you fine? You do me this. After this step, you set up a mail step. It will come to your mailbox, notify your colleagues and your team saying that, okay, something has failed. You guys have to go and check.
Okay.
So let's see. Next, what is there? Okay. Okay. I said 10th standard because of this. Like true and true is true. True and false is false. False and false is false. Or operator and operator only once it is true. When it is true and true. Rest all it is false. I
Yeah.
hope you are aware of that. Or
Yeah.
operator.
These are like those tables, right? 0, 1,
Yes.
0, 1, 0,
Yeah.
1. Yeah.
So or operator,
It's
everything
always
is
true.
other
Yeah.
than false and
False.
false. Okay. Not operator, not true is false, not false is true. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see what are the outputs for this ones.
First one is true.
Yeah,
Second one
one?
is also true.
because we are in AND operator, this is a true statement. This is
Oh.
a false statement.
Okay.
True and false is
I
false.
didn't say it. False, yeah. First one is also false.
Because this is not greater than this.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is OR operator.
True. That one's true. This one is also true. This one's false.
Because false and false is false.
Yeah.
False or false is false. Okay, 10 is equal to 10 in practicality. But we have put not true. That means it is false. It should give you false answer.
Okay.
This one is a false statement. You're putting not in front of it. So the answer would be true. These are useful in operator conditions. Like you write a print statement, not a print statement. You are in a for loop or something. You want to verify, okay, a particular element on a web page is present, and you have gone to that stage and you are checking for that element. You can say
Okay.
whatever element is present over there and whatever element I'm trying to see right now, both are true. Then go ahead. This or this is equal to true. Then go ahead. You can write your for loop or some kind of thing over there. You understand the bigger picture over there?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, then okay, let's see. This is kind of extended one. True or not false. Not false is true, right?
Yeah.
And false. So it is true, true, true or true is true. Until here it is true.
True and false is false.
False. So your answer for the first one would be false.
False.
Did we get it true?
True or true is true, right? True and false is false, right?
Correct. That's what even I'm thinking. Why it is returning true? Here it gave me an answer of true. Let's see the print statement. Okay, let me restart the kernel. Might be in the above statements I've put something. Okay, again it is returning true, then we are reading it something wrong. Okay, let's see whether it is going with the AND operator first. Okay.
Okay.
So might be AND operator is taking the precedence. Okay. Not operator first, AND operator second, OR operator third. Okay. The sequence is like this.
Okay.
Not is first, AND is second, OR is third. So
Okay.
not true, false. Not false, true. True and false.
False is false, but true or false is true. Yeah.
Correct. Wonderful. Then okay.
So
For this one,
usually we could like manage through brackets, right? We can put
yeah,
front of
yeah,
true.
that's good.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right on that. So you can go like this and put braces and do. That is a better way. Always brackets is a better way.
Yeah.
Like he has done it here.
Yeah.
So for this one, first of all, it will go with the not operator. Then this OR operator, everything will be finished in this brackets, and then it will do this one with the output. So the answer is false for the next
false.
one. Yeah. Okay, we are done with the conditional operators.
Okay.
I doubt this guy would be joining. Okay, let's continue. He might join. Okay, if 100 is greater than 10, print 100 is greater than 10. Okay, value is equal to red. If value is equal to green, print to go. So these are, you understand the if and else statement. Did you see it by chance before?
Actually, to be honest, I work in like this SQL databases.
Correct.
So I see them, and we already so in our BTech, we also got a chance to learn this kind of language like machine learning. So we used to program all this 8051 coding.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
obviously you are aware of it, but the point is like because I have to go from very basic, I have to go. That is the point.
sure.
Okay.
No problem. It's like a refreshing thing for me too. Yeah,
Correct. Because Naga is, if he would have been there, it would have been very fruitful for both of us when we learn such kind of things.
yeah,
But he isn't there, right? So let's continue.
yeah. Print 100 is
Okay.
greater than
100 is greater than 10 because this is a true statement. It is
yeah,
giving you the result. If this would have
yeah.
been less than, what it would do?
Nothing it would print, right?
Because it is a false statement, it will
Yeah,
not come over here.
we
So
could put else if yeah, else
else,
print is wrong.
so it would have come to this. So the
Yeah,
basic agenda over here is getting used to the syntax of how to write in Python.
yeah.
That's it. So this is how you write it. If condition, some operation, colon. Okay.
So
Let
is a
me,
colon compulsory?
yes, it should be
Okay,
there. This
okay,
colon, and then in Python there is no semicolon concept, and
okay.
everything is driven by a tab or four spaces. If you
Okay.
wouldn't have given this tab,
Yeah.
it will fail. Indentation error.
Oh,
Python is completely driven by indentation. We call it
okay.
indentation. The four white spaces or the tabs.
Semicolon. Okay.
So when you write a if condition, write a condition, end it with a colon, and then when you are in Anaconda, when you press enter, it will automatically give you the four spaces.
Okay.
But when you do it on the normal CMD command prompt Python, it might
Yeah.
not give you. Or if you do it in a notepad, it might not give you. So be very careful. And
Okay.
these errors are pretty common, the indentation errors. When the program is pretty big,
Okay.
sometimes we might miss it. So when you get such kind of error, indentation and error, understand at what line you have missed this indentation. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And one thing to remember, don't mix tab with space. Either use a space or use tabs.
Okay. So if you give
Okay.
more than four spaces, then also it will throw error.
Let's see.
Oh,
Did
so
you
the
get it?
statement is wrong. Yeah. Okay. You have to put greater than.
No, I'm saying the program will run,
Okay. So the program ran. Yeah. Okay.
but the standard is give a tab or four spaces.
Minimum four spaces. Okay.
Yes. So let's see. So I hope you understood the syntax for if statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see one more if condition. Okay, if
Okay.
condition, you will have a elif or you will have a else, correct?
Okay.
That is a basic thing. And
Eh,
then,
okay.
yeah, ask me.
The elif is the new. We usually write else if. So
Okay, in Python it is elif.
okay.
And one more thing, for one if you can write how many ever elifs. You
Okay.
see, if you are sometime back you were telling machine learning, right? So artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
majority of the companies nowadays, I doubt seriously they are doing the artificial intelligence part. They are writing if conditions within that. They are writing if, elif, and then do this else. So they are putting robo in such a way that okay, if condition they'll write first, then they'll write whatever ellipse will come, and then they will do else directly. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you can write 100 ellipse also here.
Yeah. Okay.
The program might be like that. So syntax you can just watch and just tell me any question on this. I'll run the program.
Okay. If value is equals to green, print go. Elif value is equals to yellow, print it. Prepares to stop. Else print stop. So at the else statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just else, right? Whatever.
Else will be only once.
Okay.
Correct.
No.
So
In
Yeah,
the
tell me.
else condition, can we give any other condition like
No,
the final
else is
condition?
just else. Else is just else.
So at the top we are giving if value is equals to green, right? So that's false. Then it'll print go. Then it'll come to elif value is equals to yellow. That will also fail. And then it'll come to else, right? At the else, can we give like else value equal to any like any statement saying like value, if both are false, at the final statement you print value as some red or like violet.
I got your question. What you're saying, you're asking me, can I write is equal to
Violet.
like this, right? I got
Yeah.
your question. So what I'm saying is you can't do. Else is just else.
Okay.
Else we should write like this only. Okay. Because this one you can write one more elif here. I don't have a problem.
No. What I'm like, my question would be like, if top two statements are wrong, and then if both are wrong, I want to change the value to violet.
You want to modify it to violet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Else, syntax wise, after else you cannot write any condition. Okay.
Okay.
Here you cannot write any condition.
Okay.
Change it to this thing. You can put value is equal to violet.
Okay.
Print
Value. Okay.
value. Okay.
Okay.
And then instead of stop, you can say
I think he's gonna join.
I've just seen that. Okay. Let him come. We can just revise what we have seen. Okay, boss.
Okay.
Let's see now. Then let me run the program. You will see the answers.
Okay.
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 This failed. This obviously failed. You are aware of it. This is
Yeah.
called as a global operator pawn. This one is a global operator.
Okay.
Global variable, not operator. Sorry.
Oh, global variable. Okay.
Because this is not within the program. So if you would have written something and defined value is equal to tell me some other color, pink. Okay.
Pink. Yeah.
So this is a local variable. Okay.
Okay.
This is global. Again, this is local.
Okay.
When you define something outside, it is already defined. Value is always red over here. No.
Okay.
When it starts over here. When it comes
Okay.
over here, it
It'll
might
change
change.
to pink.
When if it is in pink if condition, it will change to pink because
Okay.
you are defining it locally within the if condition.
Okay.
But again, when you are coming to else condition, you are locally changing it to violet. Okay.
Okay.
So what is happening? You are defining this as a global one, but again, when the value comes out into the if conditions, it is modifying into something else.
Okay.
Until here. Correct. So
yeah.
let's see what will happen to this value when we print it outside the if or else conditions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Let's
it should
see
be
what
red, right? Oh, violet. Okay.
but the definitions, this is global, this is local.
Okay.
But generally okay, it's fine, but global variable definition is preferred.
Okay.
Local
So,
variable definition, you should not do it generally until unless it is pretty much needed. Like, okay,
okay.
you were a customer to me for 5 minutes back. You were saying, yes boss, this is failing, you are telling me until this, when both the models failed you give me a violet model, that was your requirement, then it's
Yeah.
fine. But generally don't change the value in a local variable, it will
Okay.
change.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so the statements are pretty simple. It was a red color, then it came and check in whether it is red or green, then
Okay.
it changed the value to pink.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
you could have said print this value. We did not do it. Let's print that also.
Print value. Yeah.
But this
It says pink.
pink will not get printed because we are not going into if condition only. We are directly going, this is failing, this is failing,
Oh, okay. Okay.
this is coming into this.
Okay. So whatever, if the if condition will whenever it's true, then only it will go to the below statements. If it's false, it's directly gonna jump back to else elif.
Correct. That's what I
Okay.
was saying. So local variable definition is dangerous because this is failing. It will not go into this. It will never become a pink.
Okay.
You got my point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When it
Got
is
it. Yeah.
when it is passing only, it will go. Like if you would have put a green, then the answer would have been pink.
Pink. Yeah. Okay.
So if condition is passing, it will not go into these two conditions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
AI people are putting if condition, it will pass. First condition only it pass. Even in one of my program, I was pretty tired. That was the insurance project I told you. I
Yeah. Yeah.
put three if conditions just to make
Okay.
it pass. I was so tired of that program then. I put three if
Oh.
conditions, I made it pass. You do
Okay.
this if it is passing, next go to next if condition, next if condition, next if condition.
So inside a if condition, can we put another if, right?
Yeah, you can put
Yeah.
like this.
We can
If it is
go
a
n
green,
number of nested ifs, right?
yeah, you can do it. Like
Yeah.
this, you can put
But
value
it
is
would.
equal to something like what you want to write. Tell me. Okay,
Actually,
green
we
in
in
yellow.
our project we had a a different condition.
Okay,
Like our program should always run on fifth business day.
okay.
So if the fifth business day is a Saturday or a Sunday, like, oh sorry, if the fifth business day is a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
it should skip that day and then it has to come back to next Monday. So
Okay.
let's say,
If fifth is falling on a Saturday or a Sunday, it should work on a seventh,
hmm,
correct?
not Saturday,
Monday.
Sunday. So if the fifth business day itself, we are excluding all Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay, I
If
get
the
it.
fifth business day
Uh-huh.
falls in a public holiday like July 4th, here the July 4th is a Independence Day, or
Mm-hmm.
December 25th. That would be not December 25th, but yeah, there are a few
I
other
get it.
days, right? Yeah,
Some holidays will be there.
yeah. So if at all, if the holiday is on the fifth business day, it has to choose next Monday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. I get it. What you're trying to say.
Yeah. So we didn't know how to write it, so we wrote a pretty weird program for it.
Uh-huh.
It finally worked the same way. If this day is this day, then go to skip it.
Uh-huh.
Choose first. We choose the fifth business day.
Mm-hmm.
So if the first, second, right? So if the first day is a Sunday, then next. If this first is a Saturday, sorry, first is Saturday, can look for the second day. If it's a Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
then look for Monday. If it's Monday, then Friday. It should run on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That that whole logic gave us like a lot of complications. So is there any easier way to write with this if and else if conditions?
Yes, actually you can do it. See,
Okay.
I ran into a similar thing. So what you can do, there is calendar already defined in Python.
Okay.
One second. go to meeting. Do you also get something on your screen where it is sitting on the top? I think you don't see it on my screen, but that is troubling me. Okay.
Okay.
See, there is a calendar module already there, default. So
Okay.
let's play with this and see your requirement. So it is giving you a calendar, right? Like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 5th is a Sunday, 6th is a Monday. So exactly this is your situation, right?
Yeah.
Fifth business
Not
day.
exactly. No.
Fifth business
So
day is a holiday, right?
that's not a business day. That's
Okay.
fifth calendar day. So our
Okay.
fifth
Your business
business
day
day
is
would be 8th.
8th or 7th. 7th.
Yeah.
7th it would.
No,
So
8th. So
okay,
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
and 7, 8. Oh, sorry.
6, 7.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, 7,
6,
7.
7. Correct.
So
So
if 7th is a holiday,
mm-hmm.
it should run on 8th.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not a holiday, it should run on 7th.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it should always, like the fifth business day, right? It always changes. It never say that it's not always the 7th on every month, right? It
Mm.
changes to month, and
Obviously,
then
obviously.
yeah.
So you have to figure out in that case when is a Sunday falling on, correct? Or a Saturday falling on? Which day number is it, correct? Your condition is that. Agreed?
Which day of the month? I don't want Sundays and Saturdays though. I just want fifth business day. It to be run on fifth business day.
Okay. If fifth business day is a Saturday, Sunday, it is a concern for you, right?
Uh, uh, Business day itself, excluding Saturday and Sunday, right? Fifth
Okay,
business day is a
that is
holiday.
okay, okay. I get it. So fifth, it is excluding Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah,
you should think about only 1, 2, 3, and then okay. Then the program would be pretty big only, but it is not that difficult. What language did you use and write?
we used SQL.
Okay, okay.
Our
So,
if conditions, I think I exactly don't remember. This was like 6 months back, I guess, like 6 to 8 months
mhm,
back. So we literally put like 15 if conditions or something.
mhm.
Ifs and elifs.
Okay.
So
So
bo-
see, it will not be as a 15 condition because see, you can write some program to check whether these four, I'll first of all exclude Saturday and Sunday in your condition, right? Because
yeah,
I want only business dates.
yeah,
I'll check only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are matching, and that should not come on a holiday. How did you figure out holidays? Like, did you store that in a variable?
No, no. We pretty much has fixed holidays in US. So every year,
That's what. That is a
first
hard code.
Jan, yeah,
That is
first
a
Jan,
hard code.
fourth July, 25th December, and there is this Labor Day, and then
Yeah,
there is another, yeah. So that's a hard
uh,
coded thing. Yeah,
that's a hard code. So
yeah.
you will have a variable which will say holiday dates. Sorry, what's happened to this? Hmm.
I
Holiday
think you
dates
need
is
a new
fixed for you.
computer.
Holiday dates is fixed for you, right?
Yeah,
Like
fixed. Yeah,
of holiday. Then your current day is your question. What is your today's day, not date?
yeah.
Today day, today date, number. Okay, and then you will first of all figure out this and when is the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, correct?
Okay.
You do want these two and you do want this. Okay, this one's correct.
Yeah.
So we can write this program by the end of this course. I'm not saying that we can write it. So
Okay.
today day,
If it's taking too long, we can like continue.
no,
I just
this will take time. This is
Yeah,
like not like it will finish within this session. I'm just giving you an idea.
yeah.
So
Okay.
today day,
Yeah.
you have to put it in the if condition. If today day is
Okay.
not equal to Saturday or Sunday
Okay.
or this day
Or holidays. Okay.
or holidays or date num is not equal to 5,
Okay.
then you can run the condition.
No, there would be a small hiccup, right? So
Okay.
today's date num, right? Today's
Uh-huh.
date num, it would be 1, 2, 3, irrespective of if it falls on Saturday or Sunday. Let's say like today's date num is 5th, it would come as 5, and
Okay.
then the program wouldn't run for that month, right? Let's say that particular day is on the 5th day is on a Saturday. We are excluding Saturdays and Sundays, and we are excluding holidays.
Okay, so if it is 5th, then you should run, right? If we are excluding everything and then it is
If it
this
is
thing.
if the 5th business, we have to first look for the 5th business day. It should run on 5th business day. If the 5th business day is a holiday, it should immediately run on next business day. That means
Okay.
6th business day. If the 5th and 6th business days are holidays, it should go to 7th business day.
Okay, I get your point.
So at that moment, our whole week it created such a complex.
No, playing with the calendar is the most difficult thing. Playing with the
Yeah,
calendar is the most difficult thing. I understand that.
yeah,
Because even I had one requirement which I was playing. I told you I was playing with the API connection, right? Few days back.
yeah. Okay.
That also was something like in our project we run 1 month behind because ours is a finance project.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
1 month back data.
Currently,
Okay.
today we will have a period opening for us, period closing opening.
Okay.
But calendar month wise, we are in March.
Okay.
But our period wise, application period wise, it will be February.
February. Okay.
And you know the February complication, it is leap year.
Leap year. Yeah.
And the data that I am retrieving is coming from a third party source. It is not our team's data, API
Okay.
data.
Okay.
And that API data, there are two different types of data. Okay. One rates are gap rates, one rates are MOR rates, monthly exchange rates, quarterly exchange rates.
Okay.
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 And monthly rates are always coming calendar month wise.
First to last.
Calendar month wise. So today, if I retrieve the data, it is giving me March data directly.
Oh. Okay.
But my client tells me
it should be a
you
previous
handle
month.
both the conditions. If I tell you run MOR, it should give me MOR rates. If I tell you run gap, it should give me gap previous month rates.
Okay. I also got the same situation. So what we did, right? So a slight change in our thing. So in our what they did. So first for the first 5th business day, right? So whenever I run a program, whenever he runs a report, right? So in the first business days, I need the previous month. So on March 1st, I want February's data. But on the 6th business day, it may be like 6th or like 8th or something. 6th business day, I want the present month.
Okay.
So what I did in my language, I hard coded things.
Okay.
So basically, what I did, I choose the current day, and then if the first business day is the first day of the month,
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go and get the previous month data.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, if I checked for like first 6 days, and
Mm-hmm.
then if the first 6 days are like the present, and then those are the business days or something, the same logic, it has to get the previous month, otherwise it has to get the present month.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So
I
mine
think
was also
yours.
like that, and then you know how the calendar month is.
Yeah,
My period openings are around 31 or 1,
yeah,
but if it is February 28, 29,
okay,
and if I run the automation on 27, it should give
okay,
me January data. If
yeah,
I run an automation on 28, it should give me February data.
on 28.
28 is the last day of the February month, right?
Oh, okay.
And you go to the March calendar month, but you are in February data only. The complication.
Yeah, yeah.
And this time we got a leap year accidentally.
Oh, okay.
So
So
for
that
calendar
means on
only,
29th it should show you
February data.
February months, and on 28th it should show you January months data.
Correct.
Ah,
And
Hello.
this automation I cannot go and hi Nagaraju.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, man. We were into some very good discussion.
a different random discussion here.
Okay. Today dot split. Okay, what has happened to this?
Abhishek, is it possible like every day around 6:30? Yeah, your
No,
time.
man. Today my company we have some period opening day, so that's why I put it up a bit early.
Oh,
No
yeah,
problem. Tomorrow I'll change the time back to 7:30. I mean, half an hour late as we were doing until
yeah. It's
yesterday.
also fine, but not early. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Uh, we can do this actually, Pawan. See,
Okay,
so right now I'm getting today.
okay,
Today I'm getting as a variable. I'm
yeah,
getting day also.
yeah,
So 1 second. Calendar is the most difficult thing. I agree on that point, man. It plays with you. Literally, you have
yeah,
multiple conditions to handle.
yeah. And this format also sometimes it gives us trouble.
Yes. Obviously, I told you,
Yeah.
especially in database, people don't set it up right, correct? They put it as a text format and they import data into it.
Yeah, it depends on the application. It depends on the where we get the imports. There are like n number of variables from which the date format. Sometimes the day will be front. Sometimes the month will be front. Sometimes the year would be front. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, man. Seriously.
and the reports we generate, right? We have to
Mm-hmm.
handle like all these kinds of scenarios. Like, however the data comes in, we have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that it is converted into our own format and then produce our report.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
1 second. Don't bother about the split and all. I'll tell you. Okay. Let's assume. Okay, this is month, this is date, or this is date, this is month. It's fine. Let's see whatever it is. Okay. This is giving you today, date, num. You can explain him the situation by then,
Okay.
Pawan. So he might be
So,
thinking, what am I doing here?
so now here is the situation. So, like 6 to 8 months back, I had this a weird requirement from our business. So we have a report. Ours is a pretty big report. So that report has to run every month, fifth business day. Okay.
Okay.
So the conditions are like it has to run on fifth business day. That means we must never consider Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Okay. If the fifth business day is a holiday, you know, holidays over here, right? The 4th of July or the Labor Day or something. If any reason, if it's a holiday, it has to run on next business day.
Okay.
So if the fifth business day comes on like on a Friday,
Yeah.
so let's say if it comes on Friday, then it has to run on next Monday.
Oh, three requirements. On holidays, it should not run. On public
Yeah.
holidays, it should not run. And Friday also, it should not run.
No. It should run on fifth business day. If it's a Friday, it can run on Friday.
Okay.
But if
Okay.
a Friday is a holiday, it should run on Monday.
Okay. Monday. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It should not run on if Friday is a holiday, it should not run on Saturday. It must run on next Monday. So those
Yeah.
are the only two conditions. Fifth
Okay.
business day. If the fifth business day is a holiday, it should run on sixth business day, not
Yeah.
on the sixth day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we are trying to achieve. So in this we used a SQL language. So in a SQL language, we pretty much had like 15 to 20 ifs and else if conditions. Then I had to hard code few things like holidays and then those kind of stuff. So after that, I was able to do it. I was just asking. So we were going through the if and elif conditions over here. So I just got a quick reminder of that. So I just asked Abhishek about that. So he was quickly doing it.
Nice.
So Pawan,
Yeah.
first of all, we can check whether it is a Saturday, Sunday. Correct.
Today's date, right?
I'll go in ulta. Like first, I'll check whether it is Saturday or Sunday. If this of the condition for is true, then
Okay.
no need to execute anything for you. Correct. It will
Yeah.
not execute. These days are completely excluded.
Yeah. Completely excluded. Yeah.
If Saturday or Sunday falls on a fifth, that is anyways okay. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't
Then
matter.
if today date num,
Yeah.
if this is there, don't do anything. Print don't. Okay. Then elif condition we can go. Okay. If today date is equal to 5. Okay, fifth business day I should get, but it is not considering the numbers. How to get that number? I'm just thinking. What is the today's date today?
Today, let's go with today's month. So today is March 2nd. So that means
March
today is
okay.
oh sorry, okay, March 3rd. For us it's okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's third or second.
March 3rd. So that means today in this month we are in second business day. So if you go to fifth business day, that means it's sixth. That's Friday.
Yes, I get it. So let's see whether any.
Business day itself is excluding Saturdays and Sundays.
No, I'm just googling in. It's like someone would have posted such kind of questions. It will become very easy for us. Okay. Okay, we can do it. It's not a Okay, I'll get you that, Pawan. I'll write a code,
Yeah,
but it will take
it's
time.
okay. It's not too complicated though. We can do
No,
it like whenever we have
Python.
free time, right?
No,
I
I'm
wanna
telling
go
in
through
this.
with you.
Yeah, in this
Yeah.
Python, actually, it might take some 5-6 conditions, not 15. I'm 100% sure on that. 5-6
Okay.
conditions, we would finish it off.
Okay.
I'll write and show you to both. Okay.
Sure.
Let's just revise what Pawan Naga has missed by then. Naga, you
Sure.
want me to revise or you will watch it in the video?
Revise.
Oh, wonderful. That's why
I will not look into it.
I got it. But that's why many of us we have everything for free, but we pay money and we learn. I agree on that. Okay. Okay. Nothing, Naga. Today we just wanted to show you some basic things. Like I just entered the operator conditions. By that time, we and Pawan went into some discussion. Okay. So this is pretty simple, Naga. So these are called as comparators, wherein you want to just compare two numbers or two strings, whether this is equal to this or this is not equal to this. This is less than this is greater than this, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. How you write the syntax? So if you run this, you will get the answers. That is 10 is equal to 11 is the question, is the statement that is made here. That is false. Correct? 10 is not equal to 11 is true. 10 is less than 11 is true. 10 is greater than 9 is true. 10 less than or equal to 10 is true. 10 is greater than or equal to 11 minus 1 is a true statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this you might have seen in your 10th standard sets and operations. This is called as an AND operator. This is called as a OR operator. This is not operator. Okay. True and true is true. AND operator, when it is both true, then only it is true. If any of it is false, then it is false. OR operator is only false when it is false or false. Okay. Not of true is false. Not of false is true. Okay. How to write that in Python? So 10 is equal to 10. This is a true operation, correct? And 10 is greater than 9. It is a true operator, correct? So true and true, this is a true statement?
Yeah, true.
Okay, so if you run and see, it's true. Second one, you can just tell me what is it? Second one answer.
10 equal to 10 true. 10 less than false.
Okay, the answer should be false.
False.
Okay, this one?
10 less than 9 false.
This one? This is OR operator. This is a equal to condition. This is true.
True.
This is also true. Yeah. So this one you mean to say second one also is true?
False. True or false. 10 greater than 10. So that
this is false.
False. Okay.
This is
false.
False or false? It should be false, no?
False.
Okay. This is a true condition, right? Not of true?
It's
false. So let's see. Greater than 10?
True. Not false is not of false.
Okay. This is the sequence, Naga. First it will take not operator. It will take AND operator.
Okay.
It will take OR operator. So if you see here, this one, true or not false, this is one condition. This is one condition. This is one condition. These are the operators, OR and AND. So what is the answer for this? Just
True
give it a try.
True or not false? Is true or true? True and false. Is true.
Okay. So the answer is true.
True and true. True and false is true false, right?
Good. But I told you the sequence, right? Not false. This will be considered first.
Okay.
This has become true. Then and operator will be considered. True and false. It is false.
False.
Okay. Third
Oh,
operator will be or. True or
okay.
false. The
Okay.
answer is true.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So this also similar way. It will follow this hierarchy and the answer would be false for that.
Hmm.
Very good. So let's get into the if statement. I'll tell you.
So what is the difference between two equal symbols and one equal symbol?
Oh, okay. Very good question. This double equal to symbol, you
Is
are
assigned.
checking. No, this is not assignment. This is checking whether A is equal to B.
Okay.
When you put single equal to, it is assignment.
Okay.
You are
Okay.
telling A is having B value.
Hmm.
Okay, this is assignment. This is comparison.
Okay.
Then, okay, if condition in Python, you should write like this. If something, your condition, colon, then press enter. When you press enter in Anaconda, it will directly give you a 4 space or a tab. But in Notepad, it doesn't happen. This is called as indentation.
Hmm.
Okay. Without indentation, if you write the program, it will fail. In Python, indentation is a must.
Oh,
Okay.
then yeah. So we should go front and click on tab. That's all right.
Tab button. Correct. That's it. Or 4 white spaces. Don't mix tab and space. You follow one thing. Either
What
tab or either space.
what if 1,000 lines of code are there? You can't go to each line, right? Okay, select
That's
all.
right. No, you can't do anything. You should write it like that.
Okay, each line you should go and click on tab.
Correct.
Okay.
That means when you are writing program only, you should follow that syntax, Nagaraju. So
Yeah.
when you write a if condition, write the condition, then end it with a colon, and then you should write the print statement or whatever operation you want to do. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is syntax. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's see one small Buddha program. Man, this one. Okay, let me take this out. Now it is okay. See, I'm writing value is equal to green.
Hmm.
Okay, value is equal to green. If it is green, then it is going inside.
Hmm.
Then let me remove this. Me and Pawan were playing. It will become too tough for you. Then I'll explain.
Hmm.
Okay. Now value is green, right? If
Yeah.
value is equal to green, it will go inside this if condition.
Yeah.
When it is going into this if condition, I'm printing the what is value.
Hmm.
Okay. Then
Right.
I'm just printing a hard code that is go. Continue. Or else go ahead. Okay. Elif, if value was not green, if it is yellow, elif, if value is equal to yellow, print prepare to stop. Okay. Else, this I will remove because that was questioned by Pawan. Print, I am ending if else conditions have changed and I've changed the value to violet. I have read this in condition. No, let's stop. Okay. At traffic signal, what you will do? When it is green, you will go right. If it is red, you will stop.
Hmm.
If it is yellow, you get ready to go, right?
Yeah.
So you will go ahead only when it is green color. So how will you handle this simple traffic signal within a Python program?
Hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
suppose let me run this program and see what will happen now. So it has gone inside this green and it has printed me these two values, green and go ahead. Are you agreeing with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay. And this print statement, it will always print, it is outside this if else condition. It doesn't have any relevance.
Yeah.
Agreed? So that's why this print is also coming up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this green is also outside this if else condition, correct? Value.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is also getting printed. When you write something outside the program, when you define something outside the program, that is called as a global variable. Okay, Nagaraju?
Yeah.
When you write something within the program, like value is equal to
Private
void,
variable.
this is called as local variable.
Okay. Okay.
So print value. Okay. Now here it is green. That's why it is ending at this if statement only. You are always getting the answer as green, go ahead, and these two prints. Let me remove. It's unnecessary, confusing for you. You are getting green. Here it is green, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is passing here and it is stopping here. What if it was not green? It was red. What will happen? Name value is not defined. Okay, okay. 1 minute. Where did I write capital value? Okay. See, this is because of the case issue that I have made just now. Okay. This is red. So first it will check in this if condition whether it is valid. Red is not equal to green, correct? So it did not go into this if condition. Then it will check elif value is equal to yellow. Whether this red is equal to yellow. No, it is not is equal to yellow. So it did not go into this elif condition also. Then it will come to this else. Else is always like you did not pass if or elif conditions, then you will definitely come to me, right? So it came into else, then it changed the value to violet, and I'm just changing the print. I'm just printing out what is the value now. And then this is just a hard code print statement. Okay, Nagaraj, any questions on that?
No.
You are clear, right?
Mm.
So you can write how many ever elif conditions you want.
Mm.
You can write how many ever if conditions you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But else will be one.
Mm.
Okay, any questions on this? How to write if condition?
So first, anyhow, we need to keep if any we can keep any number of LF we can
Elif
keep.
do you want to put?
And if nothing is there, okay, else that's all.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, or else we will do one thing, Nagaraju and Pawan. Pawan,
Yeah.
that thing which we were discussing.
Yeah.
Let's try it out that the load should not run on the 5th business day.
Yeah.
And it should go to the next working day.
Yep.
Let's give it a shot. 3 of us. It will be a, what do you say, learning for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just Google things when you get half an hour time in a day, or just to try to progress it. We will see within 1 week, we'll pack it off. I'll give a time for both of you for 1 week. We will see. If not,
Okay.
I'll give you the solution anyways.
There
That will be one good assignment for all 3 of us.
there are hundreds of things which we need to Google.
No, it's there, but the point with Google is everything you have to split and think logically. How to
Okay.
get a business day, you should get the answer, and
Mm.
combine everything to a single program. That is a difficulty with Google. because it is not readily available, right?
Yeah.
What to eat to increase the logical thinking.
That comes by birth or that comes
Yeah.
by practice.
So yeah.
That we cannot teach Pawan, Nagaraju. Okay, chalo then. We will meet up again tomorrow. So Nagaraju, you are comfortable with 7:30 IST only, right?
7:30. I am PST. Yeah, IST, right? Yeah, 7:30 or 8 is also fine.
8 is very difficult for me, man. I should go to office also.
Yeah, okay. 7:30 is fine. Yeah.
7:30 is fine. Okay, Pawan, chalo then. We'll meet up tomorrow.
Okay. Chalo, bye.
Chalo, bye bye.
Hello, Kitty.
This conference will now be recorded.